Kaizer Chiefs is about to shock everyone, and this time in a good way, and I will tell you why. Hello and welcome to Khosi Nation Fan TV. I am Pilo, I am your host, and this is where fans meet and talk about Kaizer Chiefs. Khosi Football Club. Now, we all know that before the season started, we were shocked by the news of Mlifi becoming the head coach of Kaizer Chiefs. And all of us, or some of us, were like, what is this? You might as well have kept Zwane because Unsegi has not done anything in South African football as well. And when that happened, there are rumors that some of the players were not really happy, as if you think about it, if you had a coach and you were kind of getting close with and you were understanding and he had scouted some of the players who were arriving at the team. So it's only fair to assume that the players looked at him, and as much as they are professionals, but they are also human beings, and they thought to themselves, Ash, this one. And also how he went about planning for the games and just doing the things, we did not see any continuation from what was happening in the previous season. We saw players like Abom Tutuzi Shabalala being now dropped into the bench and not playing at all. Players who were kind of key in in the positives that we had in the previous season. And Unsegi comes in, says there's going to be continuity, but then there was none. So if you look at that, it's clear that that thing kind of messed with the dressing room and how things were behind the scenes. And we know that performance is not just based on how good a player is, but there are also mental and psychological issues that come into play when it comes to how the players are going to deliver. Like in the AFCON that we're watching, we are seeing so many teams doing much better than what we're expecting from them. And that's not just because of the coaches. Yes, the coaches play a role, a huge role, but also they are just people who are, when they are playing for their countries, they are giving 100%. We always see this in international tournaments. So now with Johnson having come in last season, later on last year to replace Unsegi, things have kind of changed because for one, people value Unsegi was not taking Chiefs anyway, right? So there's that. But since he came on, there is the fact that he did not make promises about continuity and whatnot. But what he did do, he started giving people opportunities. Because with Unsegi, his squad sakhe was what it was. It was not effective, but it was not being changed. But now with Kevin Johnson, we see that he's making some minor adjustments, even some adjustments that we don't like, I don't like. For example, the one of playing Castillo, of sitting Castillo on the bench and keeping Mart. But at the end of the day, he's a coach who's making a decision to say, I'm playing this guy and I'm benching this guy. Not to say, I'm going to try and make everyone happy. But he's thinking about my style of play is this, and I'm going to make a decision to say, I'm going to play you and not you. And that kind of also makes it clear to everyone who's here that, listen, there's competition here, and I'm not just going to play you because you're a big name player, but if there's someone who I think is better than you, in my eyes as the coach, then I'm going to play that person. And we also saw Uguti, even with Unjabulo Ngcobo, he played, but then he saw a need to bring back Umsimang because there was that continuation when he took over, where he inherited that squad and that starting 11, and he kept those players. But as time continued, then we started to see him play his own way, slightly different from what Unsegi was doing. Also in the goalkeeping department, we've been keeping Brendan Peterson for a very long time, but then he ended up saying, you know what, let me just pull the trigger, put him on the bench, and end up playing Oprusi Vuma. So I do think that in that sense, having a coach who's decisive and does what seems right to him, it kind of earns the respect of the players because they know Uguti, they have to earn their place in the starting 11. Obviously, there are certain things that I'm not happy about, but I'm just going to say I'm going to look at the positives here and say this is positive, so I'm going to go with that. And also, if players thought the coach was going to be changed, because there might have been some disgruntled players who maybe liked Unsegi or were not happy with Johnson coming in. But now it's clear that Kaizer Chiefs trusted him with taking in from October last year until December. So the obvious thing that most people were expecting was for there to be a new coach by the time we come back, because Johnson was going to, hold on for a particular time and then pass on to the next coach. But what has happened now, it's clear that Chiefs are saying we are trusting him until the end of the season. So if you are a player who's given an opportunity by a coach that Chiefs seem to trust so much that they want to take them to the end of the season, in your mind you're thinking, they are thinking of making this man the head coach permanently. So it would do me very well to perform and try to show that, hey, I am good enough for your plans. Please include me in your plans. Because now, if you start to sulk with the coach, as I said, who can make decisive changes and put you on the bench. Let's just say Umatlo was sulking. He knows that Ungobo is going to come in. Or even if Ungobo was sulking, he knows that Umatlo is on the bench and he could replace him at any time. Oranga cannot say, I'm just going to miss chances. This is not going to miss chances. Everyone is trying to impress the coach, because what this is, the next 6 months, Feb, March, April, May, the next 4 months, it's audition. It's audition for everyone to say, if Johnson is staying, I want to be part of his plans going forward. Because he looked at us and he said, well, maybe that was the management who told him that, to say we're not buying anyone in January. So that means he's assessing us. If I don't do well, that means if they trust Johnson, they are going to give him other players better than me if he thinks I'm not good enough. And the last thing he wants is to be replaced. So everyone now wants to actually impress Johnson as much as he wants to impress the management, to show them that, hey, I can actually take this team to the next level. Speaking of taking things to the next level, I wasn't going to make the transition to asking you to subscribe, but it's too good to miss. Take this channel to the next level by liking the video and subscribing to the channel. So I was saying about taking things to the next level. Kaizer Johnson has taken a team like Platinum Stars, Silver Stars, to a next level. Yes, they did not win things, but you saw what he did with that squad. Like, he just, out of nowhere, wabavusa badlalo ongele, even Abomere, they were in their prime, Abombata. Yay, that team, we remember, it was so dangerous. I was even scared. So they know that he has that ability to rebuild. You understand? So unlike Kunsegi, who they've watched with Bafana struggling massively, with Kaizer Johnson, they've not seen him struggle anyway. Well, he's not been coaching elite clubs. He was an assistant of Pizzo at Alali. So they see that this coach has done certain things that are worth writing home about. So because of those things, I think that Kaizer Chiefs players are just going to deliver shocking performances that are going to make us say, where was all of this in the first half of the season? Do you think we're going to see a turnaround, or do you think it's still going to be the same thing? Secondly, do you think that Kaizer Chiefs are going to keep Kaizer Johnson throughout the season and then to the next season, or do you think they're going to change a coach? Do let me know down in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, remember, equals Alpelumoy.